Yo, welcome back to the Gym with Kid podcast 216. You already know how we start. We start off by thanking God for all He has done for me and what He will continue to do for me. But not only me, my family, my friends, and those who I don't even know. Welcome back. Happy Friday. I did not post an episode last Friday, and I didn't post an episode on Monday. No excuse, but I'm getting back to it today. But I would like to mention before I get into what I'm talking about, just have an open discussion real quick. I just been dealing with some issues in all transparency. Just to share with y'all, I had a therapist, and one of my episodes I talk about my journey and my therapy journey. And for me personally, that has been a challenge because I just can't seem to get that right fit. You know, I'll have someone, they will either move on to the next chapter in their life, which is very good. Maybe they no longer work for the company, and they're moving on, or they're doing something different. It's just been a challenge, to say the least. So I just been really, but in my last session, I really got to talk about some things, and one of the things he asked me was like, how do you cope? And we're talking about that, and I just told him, like, I really express myself on my podcast. I express how I feel. I express, what I'm going through. But, we got to start right. We'll talk about it, but what we're going to talk about, we're going to get into the verse of the day. And the verse of the day comes from, give me 1 second, Psalms. And it said, chapter 56, verse 3. It says, when I am afraid, I put my trust in you. Let that sink in, whatever that means to you. Just take it in for a moment. And I'm going to say what it means to me. When I'm afraid, I have to put how I feel in God's hands. Whether I want to or not, I think that's one of the hardest things to do, is to put my trust in Him and know that everything's going to be okay. And that's easier said than done. Even though it says that it's easier said than done, and for many of us, including myself, I put my trust in Him, but then I still try to do my own thing and try to figure out the things that I try to figure it out. But it's not up to me to figure it out. Once I put it in God's hands, He will figure it out. I put my trust in Him. But that's what I think that scripture is saying. But yeah, and I said we were doing this thing where we start like a motivational quote of the day, and this one it says, "Winners never win, and quitters never win, and winners never quit." Let that sink in. I'm going to say it again. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. Let that sink in. Whatever that means to you, just ponder on that for a second. But let me get back to what I was saying. Happy Friday for many of us. Like I always say, for many of us, it's the best day of the week. We're probably getting ready for the weekend, going out, spending time with family, doing something. And we all should just take a moment and just embrace God, because all that is possible because of Him. The breath that we breathe, the air that we breathe, the things that we're able to do is because of Him. Because, I'm sorry, just look at how many people that are no longer with us, and they don't get to see another Friday. So let's thank you, God. I just want to take a second and thank God for that. But without further ado, let's get into what we're going to talk about today. And the topic of today is going to be express yourself. And I'm going to look up what it means. Not necessarily what it means, but what is the internet saying about this. It said the meaning of express oneself or yourself is to say one's thoughts and feelings. Let that sink in. Express yourself. So let's talk about it. A lot of times, I feel like everyone expresses themselves differently. And just because we don't agree with how somebody expresses themselves doesn't mean that they're wrong. They just have a different way of navigating and doing things. And that's okay. We are all different. God created us different. But let's go back to the beginning. You know how I'm transparent. I remember at one point in my time in my life, I was always angry. And I didn't know how to properly express myself without being angry. You know. And now I had a right to be angry, but a lot of times when I would express myself, it would not come off in the best way. And a lot of people were affected by it. When I was in school, I got angry. I just did a lot of different things, and it wasn't right. I was a troubled kid, to say the least. But back then, what I know now that I didn't know back then, I was dealing with a lot of trauma. I was dealing with a lot of things, and I didn't know. I didn't know how to cope with it. I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know how to express, to say, this is how I'm feeling and this is why I'm mad. I just didn't know how. So my expression, how I expressed myself, was through anger, through being a class clown, acting out in school, just doing those things. And I remember my grandmother, we had talks, and she would try to help me. And she used to always tell me, like, I get you're mad, and you got a lot of things in your mind to be angry about, but you still have to conduct yourself in a certain way, and you have to learn to communicate with people. Even when you're mad, even when you're frustrated. And it took me time to understand that. It really took me time to understand that. And I'm still getting better at it, you know, day by day, you know, but over the years, I've gotten better. I've gotten better than what I used to be. And I'm here to tell somebody that however you're feeling, express it. Maybe you're not, you know, you don't know your way with words. And that's okay. Maybe you're a better writer than a speaker. That's okay. Maybe you know how to formulate it in terms of a rap song, or poetry, whatever it is. But however how you're feeling, you should release it, express it to someone, whether it's a friend, whether it's a relative, family members, therapist. Don't keep that stuff bottled in. It's not good. Because if you never express how you feel, you keep this stuff bottled in, you will explode. And when you explode, your family, your significant other, people around you be like, what's wrong with them? Like, I don't understand. But really, you have been holding this inside you for so long, and it's not good. Maybe you could talk, if you want to, you feel comfortable. I don't know how many people's journey is with God, but talk to God. But that stuff is never good. And I just remember me being so frustrated and angry that I began to think that was okay, and it never wasn't. And I'm here to say also, never apologize for how you feel. Speak how you feel. Speak from your heart. And before you express how you feel, maybe as God, pray over yourself, pray over your words, pray that He can lead you with the right words to say to get through to these people, or through whatever you're going through. Implement God in whatever you do. Whatever you do. Even with my sons, when I was younger, I wouldn't say I wasn't allowed, but it was very short. It was always speak when you're spoken to. Don't really talk too much, because it was a sign of disrespect. But now that I'm raising our children, I give them a voice, whether I want to hear it or not. But respectfully, they can come to me and express themselves or how they're feeling. Maybe it was something that I said. Maybe it was something that I did. I'm not perfect. And I want them to be able to, us to have that relationship where we can sit down and say, hey, Dad, listen, yesterday or today, whatever it happened, you had did this to me, and you yelled at me, or you fussed at me, you cussed at me. I just want to let you know respectfully that I didn't like it, and I just wish that I'm just giving this example, and I just wish that maybe you could just talk to me in a softer tone, because when you do that, it kind of makes me shut down, makes me have anxiety, or makes me mad, whatever it is. That's okay. And we as parents have to be open to our children, respectfully. I want to emphasize that, respectfully. They can't really be disrespectful, because you're knocking them upside their head. But, allow them to talk, have their voice, and then be able to express themselves. And say how they feel. Even if you don't agree, just listen. Because our children are dealing with so much nowadays. They're exposed to so much stuff. We can't keep their eyes covered from everything. But we can, do our part and try our best. Try our best to protect their kids as much as we can. One of my prayers is, me and my sons, we pray daily. One of my prayers is, God, keep us safe going to and from school, to and from home. Keep us safe. Look over us, help us. And I pray that we all become better versions of ourselves. I pray that. I pray that for my sons, because I want nothing but the best for them. And I always try to express myself and let them know that. I speak life into them. I tell them, hey, I love you. Maybe I don't say it as much as I should. I should say it more. But I do love all my sons. And I want them to know that. But again, I want to really emphasize this episode and let people know you have to express yourself. When I feel as if when you are feeling something, you have to release it somewhere. Again, family member, God, paper, a video, a podcast, however it is, you can't keep that bottled in. It's never a good feeling. It's never good. So just do whatever you have to. Talk to your counselor, talk to your therapist. Maybe, you can say, Keelan, I don't feel comfortable talking to nobody because a lot of people I feel as if I can't trust. Understandable. I mean, when you're in there with that counselor or that therapist, they have a confidentiality agreement. And the only way they can say something to anybody or to a family member or to the authorities is if you are harm to yourself or you are harm to somebody else. Other than that, you can tell them your life story. You can tell them your most deepest secrets. And it's safe with them. It's safe. And I know it's easier said than done because a lot of us are accustomed to being a certain way. And that's not to say that way is bad, but change is good. Me going to therapy, when I was in therapy, I'm on my journey again, looking for a new therapist. I actually made some phone calls yesterday. I got to fill out some more paperwork, and then I'll be back. We'll talk about that at another time, but it's made me reanalyze myself and try to move differently, as best I can. Being an active listener. Stop listening to respond to things and listen to understand. Come on, I'm talking to somebody today. It's helped me. And it's still helping me. One day at a time. It's helping me to realize that everybody ain't out to get you, Keelan. Everybody is not against you, as I think they are sometimes. It's okay. But it's me knowing that I'm a work in progress. Excuse me, you guys. Excuse me. I'm a work in progress. One day at a time. But I would never stop being who I am. And some of us have to express ourselves even if people don't agree with it. You have to speak your piece. I'm telling you. And when you do that, I just think that you'll feel so much better about yourself. It's like a sign of relief. I mean, it had to be graphic, but it's almost like your stomach is hurting. You got the BGs, you got the bubble guts. You got all this stuff inside of you, but then you go to the bathroom, take a number 2, you got it all about your system. Make you feel good, right? Might feel a little bit lighter. You release. My coworker, spends time with God every day. And getting her Bible and do her scriptures and stuff, and that's good. Maybe you can do that. Maybe you could just sit and just silence and just take in the moment and really relish in that moment. Like, I'm here. I could be anywhere in the world, but God has blessed me to be here in this moment with a place, with a house, with a car, with a family. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay for us. It's okay for us to take that stuff, that type of stuff here, and it's okay for us to express it to other people that we're thankful. Like, thank you. Like, thank you for all you do to me. Do for me. I appreciate you. Express that. The person wants to hear that. It's okay. My whole point of this episode today, and I wanted to read somebody and let them know that no matter your circumstances, no matter what you're going through, you still have a voice. Your opinion matters. How you feel matters. Express it however you can. And I promise you, it will get easier. Get your little notebook. Write some notes. Script notes. Little diary. Hey, today I had a good day. Today wasn't a good day. Tomorrow's going to be a better day. But I thank God for this moment. You feel me? That's the only point. I just want y'all to just don't be silent. Don't leave no words unspoken. Don't leave no things in your head. Put it on paper instead. Oh, that just rhymed. And I just want to say thank y'all for listening to the podcast, being patient with me as I work on being consistent. I'm available on my podcast is available on all platforms, wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, you name it, I got it. And I just want to say I'm just thankful for you guys. Any feedback, maybe you guys struggle, maybe somebody listening to this struggle with expressing yourself, and maybe I can give you some tips, or maybe I can't give you any tips, but I can lead you in the right direction to some people that can help you move in the right direction. Thank you for listening to the Genuine Kid Podcast. I'll see y'all soon.